Lemon Chicken Orzo Soup. Guys, I teased you with it a couple weeks ago on a post on Facebook and had a lot of comments, and it's time to make it again. It is absolutely delicious and really quick and easy to throw together. A rotisserie chicken saves you a whole lot of time. Welcome back to In the Kitchen with Tabby. Let's get cooking. All right, friends, I teased you with this a couple weeks ago, the Lemon Chicken Orzo Soup. I wanted to wait a little bit before I made it again, so I'm gonna make a pot for this weekend. I think it'd be a good time to do it. So in my pot here, I have some of the butter infused olive oil. So that's gonna give it a little bit of a butter flavor with those veggies. And in my chopper here, I have diced up very fine. I used the small blade on it. The sweet onion, so a sweet onion, some celery, and some carrots. So I've got all of that diced up in my chopper here. So we're gonna put this in the pan. We're gonna get all of that in there and get it cooking. I've got a lot going on in the kitchen today. You might see in the background there, I've got some goodies going. You won't see that video for a little while though, but probably a couple weeks. You'll get to see it in a couple weeks. But it's really good, you're gonna like it. And it's a recipe that's gonna be in my new cookbook, so make sure you check that out. All right, I'm gonna let these veggies cook for 5 or 6 minutes until they're starting to get soft, and then I will come back and we'll take it to the next step. Hang tight. All right, friends, it's been about 6 minutes, and these veggies are softening up. So now I'm going to add some minced garlic. 3 garlic cloves, or, well, my tablespoon's not gonna fit. So 3 garlic cloves, or about a tablespoon of garlic. Let me grab a different spoon. All right, now we are a garlic loving family, so I'm gonna put a little more than a tablespoon, but you can do what you like and what your family likes. I'm gonna do about a tablespoon and a half. We're gonna let that garlic saute for about 30 seconds. You wanna just keep stirring it because you don't want that garlic to burn. It'll burn pretty quickly. And I do have my heat set on medium. I've had it on medium this whole time. And just like always, this recipe will be on my website, inthekitchenwithtabbi.com. So I got this recipe out of our local electric co-op's little magazine that they send out occasionally. And they always have some recipes in there that their co-op members have submitted. And so this recipe was submitted by Suetta Tingler. So if Suetta is a follower, or if you happen to know her, let her know that we are making her soup. And it's delicious. All right, now we are going to put in our chicken broth. Now I made my own. You want 8 cups of chicken broth. And I made my own today. I took one of the rotisserie chicken carcasses because that's the chicken we're gonna use in the soup. And I just boiled it down and seasoned it up a little bit and made my own chicken broth. So that's what we're gonna use in here. So we've got 8 cups. All right, in goes the broth. Whew, that was hot. I was a little nervous there, not gonna lie, but I made it. Okay, so we've got our broth in there, and we're going to add a bay leaf, and we're gonna add some oregano. All right, now we're gonna bring this up to a nice boil. So it's gonna simmer for a minute or two. I still have my heat on medium, but we're gonna bring it up to a boil, and then we'll take it to the next step. Hang tight. All right, friends, it's boiling. So next step is we're gonna add our chicken and our orzo pasta. So my chicken is just 1 rotisserie chicken that I have shredded up. Get all that in there. And then we're going to add our orzo pasta. And we are going to let that cook for about 9 minutes or so, 10 minutes maybe, until that orzo gets nice and tender. Now, obviously the chicken is already cooked, so we don't need to cook the chicken, but we want that pasta to be nice and tender before we take it to the next step. So, in about 10 minutes for me, half second for you, I'll come back and we'll take it to the next step. All right, friends, it is ready for the next step. I wanted to show you the pasta. Some people might not know what orzo pasta is. I use the Barilla orzo pasta, and you can see it there. It just looks like little, almost like little grains of rice. I think you could probably even use rice in here if you wanted to, but I went ahead and stuck with the orzo. So we've got all that taken care of in there. Now what we're going to do is add some spinach The recipe called for fresh spinach, and the last time I made it, I used fresh spinach, but I could not find it at the store today, or at least when I placed my order, they didn't have it. They said it was out of stock. So we're going with frozen spinach instead. So I have thawed it and drained it, and we're just gonna put that in. Now the only difference is, if you're using fresh spinach, you'll have to wait a few minutes for it to kind of cook down and soften up. Using the frozen spinach that's been thawed, you won't have that wait time. It is gonna cool it off a little bit though, so you're gonna have to warm it back up. Okay, so we're gonna put that in. And then we have one more step, but we're gonna wait until this comes back to a simmer. I want that spinach to be nice and hot. Gosh, this is such a pretty soup, you guys. All the color, the orange and the green, the white from the chicken and the pasta. All right, we're gonna let that sit and simmer for just a few minutes. And then we're ready for the last step. I'll come back. All right, guys, it's ready. So what we are going to do now is take it off of the heat. I'm gonna add a little salt and pepper. That's just to taste. And it is called Lemon Chicken Orzo Soup. So we've got the juice of 1 lemon. So we're just gonna stir that in. Okay, and it is good to go. That's all there is to it, guys. Pretty simple, huh? All right, I'm gonna have to let this cool off a little bit before I can taste test it. And I can tell you, it smells amazing. So when it's cooled off just a little bit, I'll come back, get a little bowl, and we'll taste it together. Hang tight. All right, friends, it's still a little bit warm, but I can't wait any longer. I'm hungry. So let's take a bite. This smells so good. If it tastes half as good as it did the first time I made it, I know it's gonna be delicious. Look at all of those colors. Isn't that beautiful? It is such a pretty soup. It is so good, you guys. I don't know what to say about it, really. A lot of really good flavors. That lemon adds such a nice, I mean, it's not like if someone ate this, they wouldn't say to you, oh my gosh, you put lemon in here. It's not crazy lemony like that. It just adds such a nice flavor. And more than anything, I think it enhances all of the other flavors. It's absolutely delicious, and I think you guys are really, really gonna like it. And I hope you make it. And let me know when you do. Make sure you post a photo. I love to see what's cooking in your kitchen. All right, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, would you do me a favor? Would you share it so your family and friends can see how easy it is to get in the kitchen and just make something fun? Get those kids in the kitchen, get them involved, get that next generation cooking. We want them to know how fun it is to be in the kitchen. Remember, you'll find this recipe and all my other recipes on my website, inthekitchenwithtabbi.com. You will also find a link to the recipe on Instagram and Facebook. It will be in the comments right underneath the post. On YouTube, you know where it'll be, in the description. Click on more right underneath this video and you will see the full description, and a link to the recipe will be right there for you. All right, guys, please remember Christ is the unseen guest at every dinner table and the silent listener at every conversation. So just make sure those words coming out of your mouth are pure and sweet like honey. When you're speaking with each other, make sure that you're lifting each other up, using words of affirmation and edification, and just being kind, because that's what we're called to do. One final thing, don't forget, you can pre-order my new cookbook, my first cookbook, and my new cookbook, Pure and Sweet in the Kitchen with Tabbi, coming out in November, just in time for the holiday baking, and I think you guys are really gonna love it. Pre-orders are happening now. As soon as they come in, I will get them signed and right back out to you, so you'll have it in plenty of time for gift giving. Put it in those stockings. I think it's gonna make a great Christmas gift. All right, guys, I love you so much. Like I said, please, please, please remember that God loves you even more than I do, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.